boys and girls, it is time for science story time. And today we are going to experiment with seeds. But first, we're going to read a book by Eric Carle. He's the same person who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And this one is called The Tiny Seed. And he did both the words and the pictures. Look at these beautiful ink papers. They remind me of an artist named Jackson Pollock. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds into the air. And one seed is teeny tiny. It's smaller than the other seeds. Will it be able to keep up and blow to a place it can grow? One of the seeds is higher than the other. The tiny seed can't fly that high. This seed flies higher and higher and too close to the sun, and it gets burned. Now it can't grow. Another seed lands on the top of a mountain. It's too cold and icy there for this type of seed to grow. But the little seed is still okay. Now they're flying over the water. And one of the seeds falls into the ocean, and it can't grow in the ocean, but the tiny seed is still okay. Now one seed falls into the desert. This type of seed can't grow in the desert. It needs more water than that. But the tiny seed is still okay. Now the wind has stopped and all the seeds have fallen to the ground. A big hungry bird comes around along and eats a bunch of the seeds. But the tiny seed is so teeny tiny the bird doesn't even see it and it doesn't get eaten. Now it is winter. The seeds that are left settle down into the ground and get covered with snow. But underneath the ground there's a hungry mouse, and she eats some of the seeds. But the tiny seed is still okay. The mouse doesn't see her. Now it's spring and all the snow has melted and the seeds are starting to grow. Oops, look what happened. A boy was playing and he didn't see the plants. And he stepped on one of the plants and squashed it, and now it can't grow anymore. But the tiny seed didn't get stepped on. It's still growing. Now it's summer. The tiny seed is the only seed left. And it's growing and growing and growing and growing and growing till it's higher than the houses. All the people come to look at it because it is the biggest flower they have ever seen. Now the flower's all grown up, and it has seeds itself, and the wind comes and it blows the seeds away, and the whole story starts all over again. The end. Now there is some science in this book, but some of it's pretend. A seed can't really grow a flower that's taller than your house. Now our experiment today uses seeds, and I wanted to show you, I got it from this library book called Big Chemistry Experiments for Little Kids. And maybe sometime you and your grown-up can come to the library and check out this book and get some ideas for some other activities. Now, when I do an activity from a book, I like to change it a little bit so that I can really experiment and see what happens. So in the book was about popcorn seeds, but I used lentils because that's what I had on hand. You can try different seeds. Maybe you can get sunflower seeds, the kind that are still in the shell, or maybe pumpkin seeds, or maybe your mom or dad cooks with dried beans and you can use those. You can't use beans from a can, you have to use dried seeds. Maybe you want to use a few different kinds of seeds and see if one grows better than the other. Now for this experiment, our variable, what we change, is going to be salt. Now, first you need a snack-size Ziploc bag, and you need a paper towel. And you want to fold the paper towel up so that it fits inside your Ziploc bag. You may have to play around with it a little bit to get it to fit. Let's see if Miss Jennifer can do it. Spread it out a little bit. And there you go. And then once you have it in your bag, you're going to add a little bit of water. You want to add enough water to saturate the bag, to soak it all around, to soak it completely. And then you want to add a little bit of more water. The book says 1 to 2 teaspoons, but again, that's something you can experiment with your grown-up. I already have the water in the bag because I don't want to take all day with this experiment, make you watch everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few lentils and I'm going to put them in my bag. See my lentils? And now I'm going to seal the bag. That'll help keep the water inside so the lentils don't dry out. And then I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to tape it to a window to make sure that my seeds get plenty of sun. And now I am going to take another bag and I am also going to put a paper towel in it and some water, just like I did with the others. And I am going to take a pinch of lentil and I'm going to add my lentils to this bag as well. I got the lentil, so I'll just pick it up. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with this bag though. I'm going to take some salt and I'm going to add some salt to this bag. I can get it over. Okay, so I am going to sprinkle a little salt in my bag. And then I'm going to zip it up just like I did the other bag to help keep the water inside so my lentils stay nice and wet. And I'm going to tape it to the window so my lentils get lots of light. And I'm going to watch the two bags and I'm going to see if both bags grow or only one of them grows. And if one grows faster than the other, because I have one with salt and one without salt. And I'm going to see if the salt makes a difference. Again, you can try this with all kinds of different seeds that you may have in your kitchen. You can use salt as a variable. You might try something else. Maybe you want to put some pepper in one of the bags and see if pepper makes a difference. Like I said, I like to take books like this one and use them as a starting point, but then experiment a little bit too and see if I get the same results as the author in the book. I hope, boys and girls, that you and your grown-up are able to experiment with seeds and see if you can get them to grow on your window. And I hope that you can come to the library and get out a book of experiments to try like this one. But before you do that, have your grown-up come over to the computer and hit like, and if they haven't subscribed yet, have them hit the notification bell so they get all of our story times. Bye, boys and girls.